Hey everyone, Lauren Alvin with Add a Pup Dog and Puppy Training. Training Tip Tuesday. That's my best attempt. Training Tip Tuesday. This video, my training tip this week, is if your dog is a chomperton, if they're getting really sharky and what to do about it. Thing to do number one, consider why it's happening. Behavior is information. Using chompy teeth is behavior. So we need to take it as information and we need to figure out why it's going on to start with, because dogs who are stressed or freaked out or fearful or over aroused can get a hard mouth, and that means chompertons. So if your dog is doing that because they're stressed out, then we need to address that first, and that would be a humane sort of issue, but also behavior modification more than just I'm excited and I'm chompy. So we need to rule that out. Dogs can get chompy if they're afraid or stressed or over aroused. They can get chompy if they're puppies and they just don't realize that they have needles in their mouth and they don't have much practice not using their needles that much. So, you know, a lack of learning history. They could be too stimulated by what's going on, so over aroused or stressed out. If there's a squirrel right up close to them and they're taking treats really hard, or if there's a scary guy with a beard riding a motorcycle, I don't know, popping balloons coming down the street, this is like a nightmare, then they get really chompy again. It's information that they're getting tense, they're tensing up their jaws, and you know, the adrenaline is pumping. They could be frustrated by what you're doing. So if they don't understand what game you're playing, if you're raising criteria too much, or they're, you know, kind of jumpy dogs and you're working on a stay and it's difficult for them and they're getting frustrated by that kind of frustration could also lead to chompy mouths. The treat you're using might be way too exciting. Usually what you want to do is have a really high value treat because you want to pay them big bucks for doing the work that you want them to be doing. So you're putting deposits into that behavior's account, and you know, we're Americans, so the more money the better. Bigger deposits usually mean, you know, better behavior, bigger savings accounts. But sometimes it can fall apart. If the saliency of the treat, that is the intensity of the stimulus of the treat in the environment, outweighs their ability to perform the cue or their ability to focus, then things can fall apart, they can get frustrated, or they could just be like, give me all that food, and then just chomp it really hard. So you might be using something too delicious or too stinky. Or your delivery method. This is often the case. They're too aroused, or the delivery method. So sometimes when dogs get really chompy, people start tossing it because they're afraid of, you know, getting their fingers chomped off. Totally makes sense. But then the dog, you're amping up the arousal there. So the dog's really excited. They're doing the thing that they like. Maybe they're frustrated because the people are, you know, afraid of giving them stuff. And then treats start just flying everywhere. So they have to go to try to get it. And then they're trying to get it from your hand, because if they get it there, then they don't have to find it everywhere else. It's just adding more frustration and arousal to a situation that's already aroused and frustrating for both of you. Another thing could be the treat is too high and the dog has to, you know, reach up or jump up to get it, and that's when the chomping starts to happen. Humans feel like the bottom of our arm length is dog height, and rarely is that the case. Usually, even if we're bending it down, we assume we're in dog height. For them, that's like something at this height for us. And that height, people bash their heads into things lower than that. So it's not always easy to notice that. It's not easy to get to it. Really, you want it nose level or mouth level, even a little bit lower. I'll show you that with Nina. Or your fingers might be in the way. Instead of giving a treat flat, they're going like this. Some dogs, you know, they'll take it out nice and gentle, or it won't be such a big deal. Other dogs just do the whole thing. I've had dogs who are just like, oh, just get it out some way. So it could be that your finger's in the way and they don't have any choice but to chomp your fingers. So some workarounds. You could do the gentle mouth game. I'm not really crazy about this because if your dog's chompy enough that you're concerned about how chompy they are, and then you play the gentle mouth game is negative punishment and positive reinforcement for hard mouth and soft mouth, respectively. So you have a treat in your hand, and the dog goes, "Oh boy, treat." Wait a minute. And that's when you open it. So you're not reinforcing, negatively punishing chomping behavior, and then as soon as they get gentle or they give up or take their teeth away, that's when they get paid. I don't really like that, because if your dog is chompy and you do this, then this game requires that your hands get chomped and you have to sacrifice some flesh for that. And I wouldn't want to do that, so I don't really feel right encouraging other people to do it. But it's a possibility. The gentle treat game, it's about impulse control. It can't, I was gonna say it can't hurt. It can literally hurt, but it's worth a go. I don't have a video on that. I might be able to find someone that I like who has done a video on that. Another option is the elevator game, which I do have a video on. I will link it below. That's where links go now. And that's, you start on the 10th floor, and if you can remain seated while it comes from 10 to 9, then you get paid real fast. And 10 to 8, and you get paid real fast. That's useful for dogs who are chomping because it's coming at them, and they're just like, "I'll meet you in the middle, okay?" So we teach them that, no, you keep your feet on the floor, and good things will come to you, no matter how far away it is or how delicious it is. Adjust your criteria. If your dog is being chompy because they're frustrated or over-aroused, either by something in the environment or something in your hand or your treat pouch, or something you're doing together, adjust that. That's an external influence that you have control over, to an extent, hopefully. And so adjust that to bring down their arousal level, which should turn down the chompiness a bit. Change your delivery. Again, it's hard to get without your teeth. If you've ever fed a horse, you want to go flat like a dinner plate. So for a dog, I can get this one up. Hey, Ninu. Hey. So she's pretty gentle, but you'll see there's teeth going on there. It's not a big deal. Make sure it's focused on you. There we go. I'm gonna come down to her mouth. So I'm gonna scoop like that. And it's even possible if you have a few in your hand. I always have a few loaded up in my hand. I'm gonna get one out. I'm gonna come and go, whoop. There you go, she got it. Whoop, there you go, she got it. So I'm doing it flat hand. Even if I'm coming from up high, say I'm standing up, if I come down like this, dogs are gonna meet and they're gonna chomp. But I can come down low and deliver like that, pretty easy. And then she doesn't have to meet me in the middle. Yeah, it's a good girl. She doesn't have to meet me in the middle with her teeth. And it's being delivered straight to her front door, right to her mouth. So change your delivery. There are also accessories. If you watch the little dog video, you can use this as an arm extender, but it can also be a lollipop or a magic wand. So smear squeezed cheese, peanut butter, wet food, anything your dog likes. I think those are pretty much the best. Squeezed cheese we've got on hand. One lick is a treat. So click, lick, and away. Click, lick, and away. You'll see they're useful. See all the teeth marks? I get these at the dollar store. Similarly, there are handy things like this. It's just squeezable treat in like a caulk tube. This is Kong brand. Shout out to Luna and Enzo's parents who showed me this. It squeezes out literally just like caulk. Whoop, there it is. So that's useful for loose leash walking, I've found, because you don't have to have a bunch loaded up. And if that bothers you, then, you just got this one little squeeze. And again, just a little dollop, a little drop. Bloop, like that's one treat right there. There you go. You can also get your own squeeze tubes and fill them with something you like. Wet food. There's a couple recipes. Eileen Anderson has some recipes for squeeze tubes. This is just a camping tube. It comes, it's open on the bottom, so you plop in whatever you like. I use a binder clip to close it. It comes with these little contraptions I can't figure out. So I just put the stuff in there, put a binder clip on, and then it's got a hole in the top. One little lick is a treat. This is really useful when it's cold out because you can deliver with mittens. High value treats. usually get mistaken for fingers in cold weather, I found. And there's other styles of squeeze tube. This is the little bloop bloop kind. You can put whatever you like in there. Baby food, that's another one. And then this one doesn't have a little bloop bloop, it's just a hole. But again, you can fill it with whatever you like. One little lick is a treat. Tossing it. If you have really good aim and the behavior is appropriate for it, go ahead and toss it. Behaviors that it would be appropriate to toss for without good aim would be shaping or nose targeting, something where you want your dog moving around. But if you're teaching a brand new behavior, particularly a stationary behavior, something like sit or down or place, you don't want to toss it because they're going to have to get up and find it, and they're going to be like, wait, what were we doing? I thought we were searching out treats. And then it's just a whole mess that you don't need in the middle there. If appropriate, toss it. If you're like a world champion beer pong player and it always goes bloop right in your dog's mouth, that's fine. But otherwise, it can mess it up more than you need. Proper height. I showed you that with Nina's, right to the mouth. If you've got a really short dog, use the Lollipop Magic Wand Treat Extender, and that'll help you out. Once they catch on to the training game, lots of dogs get really excited when they first start training with their people because it's fantastic and it's fun, as it should be. But it's also just a new game. So you know how like your favorite Christmas present is gonna wear off in novelty and excitement after a couple weeks or hours, depending on your kids. It's the same with training. It's not that they're not gonna be passionate and have fun with it anymore, but most dogs, they settle into, okay, we're playing this game, all right. It's not the, oh my God, we're playing the game, chomp, chomp, chomp kind of thing. They figure out, all right, this is what we're doing. I get paid for this, I get paid for this, and if I make these guesses, I have this repertoire of behavior that I can pull from. If I use one of those, I'm gonna get paid. Relaxation protocol might be another good one. I teach a modified version of it called meditation. It's on my to-do list for a video, I promise. But you can look it up, Dr. Karen Overall Relaxation Protocol. And if you want to shoot me a message, I'll send you the videos of the dogs in Zany to Zen doing it. They're also on the Instagram page, but it's a little buried. It's from like last year. So some options. Rule out stress, change the way you're delivering it, change the way you're teaching them if they're stressed out. And there's some handy dandy little things, contraptions to make it easier for you. Let's see, we have the CGC class coming up. April 19th. It starts Thursdays, April 19th. That's for graduates of Beginner Good Manners or an equivalent with permission. Shoot me an email if you're curious. We've got the Pity Party mini class coming up. It's a 3-week course for pit bulls, pit bull type dogs. Breeding is not breed specific. Learning is not breed specific. I mean, the reason I have a pit bull class is because I love pit bulls, but pit bull owners face a lot of frustrations. I'll put it that way. And it's good to learn in an environment where you don't feel like you're being judged and to be able to talk to other people who have gone through the same things that you have with their beloved best friends, because that makes it even more hurtful. So yeah, that's Pity Party. It's a 3-week course coming up in April. I dropped my remote shutter, so I guess it's time to go. Let me know if you have any questions or requests. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.